Okay, we have got a flow where we're working towards our peak pose of bird of paradise today. A lot of things are in play. We need to work on our hamstrings, we need to work on our internal, external rotation of our arm, of our shoulder, and also the external rotation of our legs. So we really need to be working on a lot of those things before we even get there. Now, bird of paradise may never work for some of you, and that is okay, because it's all about listening to your body, remember, practicing with your limitations and accepting those limitations, that you don't have to call them limitations, they're just your body, right? Rather than practicing with your ego. So all of this sequence is going to be amazing, like I said, for lengthening the hamstrings, working the external rotation, working internal rotation. So wherever you get to, you're going to be doing some great things for your body. Okay, let's get started. We're going to come all the way down to lying onto our backs. And actually, before I forget, grab a block and grab a strap as well, because that could be super helpful for some of you where you just need that extra length to extend your arms. Okay, right, let's all come down. Come down to your backs, all the way down. Resting here. Palms facing up, eyes closed. Feel that belly expanding with every inhale. Inhaling through the nose, filling up the belly. Exhaling through the nose, belly falling. Set your intention for this class. Whether that is to see where you can get to and just accept it. Whether it's to bow out and listen to your ego because you know that this isn't for you and you are happy with everything else that you're working on whilst we're getting to the pose. Or if you've already got the pose, maybe it's fine-tuning it. Or maybe it's even just breathing. Okay, coming into our half happy baby, feel free to open your eyes, bringing up this right knee, hugging it into the chest, grabbing hold of the outside of the foot, driving the heel to the sky, flexing that foot, driving that knee down to the armpit, trying to keep this left leg long, extended on the ground. Keep bringing this knee to armpit and keep breathing. This is absolutely where you can start to use the strap if you feel that that foot is a bit too far away, or you can hold onto your calf or your hamstring. Keep drawing this shoulder down to the ground. Bringing this knee back to the chest and coming into a hamstring stretch. So whether you're holding onto the foot, the big toe, the calf, the hamstring again, and that leg can absolutely be bent. Just flex that foot because we want to engage that lengthening of the hamstring. Keep this shoulder down to the ground again and keep breathing. On your next exhale, really slowly and controlled, take this leg out to the side as comfortably as it goes. Keep drawing this foot towards your body. Keep that foot flexed. Keep that left leg long. So essentially, this is what we're going to be doing in the sky. Breathing here. Inhale, foot all the way back up. Switching over to the other side, half happy baby, grabbing hold of the outside of that left leg, lengthening the right, flexing that left foot, drawing the knee down to the armpit, keeping that left shoulder onto the ground. Coming into that hamstring stretch. Where you hold on to is completely dependent on you. Bend that knee if needed. Flex that foot to enable the hamstrings to lengthen. And really slowly take that foot all the way out to the side. Breathing here. Try to keep both hips in line rather than waking that left hip up. And then inhale, leg comes all the way up. Completely release. Okay, both legs up to the sky now, flexing your feet. And then slowly drop them both out to the sides, wherever they get to. Remember, we're very much at the beginning of our practice. Wherever your hands want to be, whether they want to be out beside you. And then bend those feet so that the heels come towards the bum. And then lengthen them again. So we're really working on the internal thigh, that inner thigh, stretching, helping us get to that peak pose. Keep those feet flexed. Take a couple more rounds here. Consciously moving, feeling those knees dropping out to the side. Okay, and then hug those knees into the chest. Rock and roll up and down your mat, or just roll over to one side and meet us in our all fours. Okay, in our all fours, we're going to be working our internal and external rotation of our arms because, like I said, internal rotation is needed for Bird of Paradise. We're going to start off with our shoulder protractions and retractions. So keep your shoulders and ears in line, pushing the mat away. And then literally you're just picking up the shoulder blades. So you're drawing those shoulder blades towards one another. And then pushing the ground away, separating the shoulder blades. We're just moving the shoulder blades. Your head isn't moving. And really try to isolate that movement. Okay, keep breathing, keep going through this as slowly as you want. And now coming into the internal and external. So whilst our hands are still flat on the ground, rotate those arms inwards towards one another and then outwards. So inwards and outwards. Starting to feel this movement in those shoulders. Really conscious moves here. And just notice here already where the internal just does not feel very nice. Because there is no point putting even more pressure into your body if this doesn't feel good. Okay, coming into our cat-cows now in your own time. Inhales for your cow and exhales for your cat. One more of both. Holding this cat when you get to it, tuck your toes, keeping the chin tucked to the chest, belly button high to the sky. Really drive nice and slowly and controlled back to your downward dog. We're externally rotating the shoulders here, pushing the ground away, sending the tailbone high. Maybe the heels are off, maybe the knees are bent. And then come to the tippy toes. We're going to do some spinal waves here. So tippy toes, bring this weight forward through the spine, sending the spine high until that weight comes all the way forward into your plank. And then bend the knees, push the weight back and straighten up through those knees. Tippy toes, send the spine high, rounding through, pushing the shoulder blades away, coming into your plank, bending the knees, pushing back into your downward dog. One more time, all the way high on the tippy toes. Come all the way forward. Push all the way back, really nice. Inhale, three-leg dog, right leg high. Exhale, bring that right knee all the way through into your low lunge, knee down, toes untucked on that left foot. Come all the way up. We're going to do, I'm not sure what they're called, but it's kind of like a swimmer's arm. So we're going to have our right arm in front of us. The hand, the fingers are towards the temples and the elbow is straight out, kind of leaning forward a little bit. And then we're going to bring that hand all the way out to the side. Once it reaches the side, you're then going to internally rotate, so your palm flips around, the thumbs face down, and then you're going to take the back of the hand towards your back. All the way out to the side, an internal rotation. Flip the palm around so thumbs are facing up, hand comes back to the temple. So this is the exact kind of move that we're going to be taking our body into when we come into this bind. So just work it into your brain, into this muscle memory. Feel that resistance of the hand, really engage those muscles. Notice how that internal rotation feels. Keep breathing. One more time, wherever you are. Okay, hand up to the temple, hands both down, coming into our lizard lunge. So like I said at the start, we need to work inner thigh, hamstrings, everything here. Hands inside that right foot walks out to the side. Maybe that left knee is up, maybe you're doing some rocks forward and back. Maybe you even come down to the forearms. Wherever you are, just make sure you're breathing. Inhale, come back to the hands if you are on the forearms, and then we're going to pulse back almost into a pyramid, but we're straightening up through the front leg, flexing that right foot, because again we want to lengthen the hamstrings, trying to get that belly onto the thigh. Coming back to our lizard lunge. Exhale, flex that right foot, straightening as much as you can through that right leg. And back one more time. All the way down. Switching straight over to the other side. Left leg forward, right knee down, toes untucked. Coming up into this lunge. Left hand by the temple, slightly lean forward. Take that hand out to the side. Palm faces around, thumb to the ground in internal rotation. Hand to the back. Back out. Change to external rotation. Hand to the temple. Do these moves really consciously, slowing it down, almost like you've got a resistance band between your body and your arm. And keep breathing. Okay, last round wherever you are. Perfect. Lizard lunge, hands inside that left foot. Left foot walks out to the outside. Maybe that right knee is up. Come all the way down to the forearms if you can. Back up to the hands. Flexing that left foot, bringing that weight back, all the way forward to lizard lunge again. All the way back, trying to keep that belly onto the thigh as much as you can. Final time, all the way back, all the way forward, stepping this left foot straight back, coming into your chaturanga, elbows straight back, all the way down to the ground. Untuck those toes, forehead down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down. Inhale, push up through your all fours, back to your downward facing dog. I'm going to start off with my left leg this time, just so you'll see in a second, but just so we don't have any compromising moves on the wide leg fold. Okay, left leg all the way up, three-leg dog. Exhale, bring this left leg all the way through. Setting up for your warrior one. Sweeping the hands all the way up. Making sure that those hips are square. Coming into our eagle arms now, so left arm under. Driving those elbows high. And then exhale, coming into our humble warrior, so folding all the way over that front leg. Driving the forearms down to the ground, trying to get that left shoulder to the inside of that left leg. Drawing the head further away from the forearms. Keeping both legs working as much as the other. Inhale all the way high. Take your hands behind you, interlace them, drive those knuckles down, open up through the chest. And then uninterlace, come into your warrior two. Exhale all the way down, side angle, because this is where we're going to be setting up for our bird of paradise when we get there. Breathing here, making sure we've got a really long underside, reaching the hand high. Maybe even already you can take this left hand down, as long as you can keep this really long length all the way from the tip of the finger all the way down to the outside of the foot. And then walk the hands all the way forward into your wide leg forward fold. So toes slightly pigeon-toed. Take that tailbone high. Make sure those quads are engaged, so you're pulling your knees up. And that is going to be what helps those hamstrings to lengthen. Make sure the weight is forward into your toes. And fold as much as you can, sending the tailbone high. Breathing here. Inhale all the way back up, coming into Skandasana, whether that's standing with both feet facing outwards, and then you're bending through this right leg, hands out wide, or you feel you can come all the way down so that that left foot is flexed, hands to heart center. Keep drawing this right knee out. Keep lifted. If you're in your Skandasana like this, come into your bind, taking that right arm in front, left hand high, left hand behind, exactly like we were doing with those swimmer's arms. And taking that right arm the same, coming into that bind. Keeping the chest open is super important here. If you're in that bind, uninterlace, walk the hands now to the back of the mat, so we're in a low lunge with our right leg bent. Plant the hands down, pick up this right leg straight back into your downward dog. Right leg high, bring that right leg all the way through, setting up for your warrior one, hands high. Eagle arms, right arm under. Send the forearms high, elbows to chin. Exhale all the way down, humble warrior. Breathing here. Trying to get that shoulder, that right shoulder to the inside of that right, the right shoulder to the inside of that right knee. Working both legs. Inhale all the way up. Take those hands behind you, interlace, draw the knuckles down, opening up that chest. And then setting up for our warrior two. Extended side angle, right forearm to the right thigh, left hand up and over. Think about this length. Maybe you take that right hand down. Remember, you can always put your hand on that block. Breathing here. And then crawling the hands all the way round into our wide leg fold. Tucking those toes, folding under. This is the time where we're lengthening our hamstrings, preparing ourselves for that bird of paradise. And now come down into your Skandasana, left knee bent, right leg extended, or you come into that Skandasana where you're still upright. If you're down here Internally rotate both of those hands and then come into that bind. Keeping this top shoulder nice and open. Breathing here. Uninterlace hands at the front of the mat. Step this left leg straight back. We're going to come through that flow one more time, a bit quicker, so we're really warmed up for the peak pose. Right leg through. Warrior one. Eagle arms, right arm under. Inhale, lift. Exhale, humble warrior. Inhale all the way high. Setting up for your warrior two. Breathing here. Extended side angle. Maybe you're ready to come into your bind, so internally rotate that right arm and the left hand, interlace those hands behind you, or use that strap for that extra length. Keeping this left shoulder nice and open. Exhale, uninterlace those hands, plant them down, stepping straight back, switching over to the other side. Left leg through, into your low lunge, setting up for your warrior one. Left hand under, eagle arms. Exhale all the way down, humble warrior. Breathing here. Inhale all the way high. Interlace those hands behind you, draw the knuckles down. Warrior two. Extended side angle. Maybe you come into that bind, maybe you grab that strap. And keep that right shoulder lifted. Keep both legs working, keep nice and long in that body. If you feel a crunch on the left underside, then that will indicate that you need to use that strap to create that length in the arms. Take that bind, uninterlace, bring this right foot to the top of the mat now. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll all the way up to standing. Coming here into our mountain pose, taking the feet hips width distance and breathing. I really want you to visualize yourself standing here, working that big toe into the ground. Glutes are engaged, and just notice how strong you feel. That you could take one leg off and you're not going to wobble. You've got that stability. Maybe you just take that weight forward and back, just testing yourself slightly to see if you were going to wobble. How do you stabilize yourself? Can you feel how your big toe is there to catch you? And just notice if you're somebody that rolls to the outside or the inside of their feet, because we want all of the corners of the feet grounded. Okay, take a couple more breaths. Feet back towards one another. Big inhale, hands all the way high. Exhale all the way down to the ground, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale down, stepping both feet straight back. We're going to come straight into our downward dog. Inhale, bringing the right leg high. Exhale, bringing that right leg all the way through. Setting straight up for your warrior two. Okay, we're coming into our bird of paradise now, so grab that strap if you need. And you'll be taking it so that it creates that extra length for your arms. Okay, so warrior two. Coming into that extended side angle, making sure that that right underneath is really lengthened. And then internally rotate this left arm, exactly like we did at the start. Internally rotate this right arm, Come under to bind those hands, whether you're using that strap or not. Check to see if you can keep this chest open. And then start to hop this left leg forward. Now, don't be tempted to hoik this right leg up with your arms. You need to use the pressure and the strength from your left leg, your standing leg, to send you high. So engage the glutes, push through the big toe. And that is what's going to give you this balance. So come all the way up. Your leg is just floating up because we're standing. And then come to a point where your knee is still bent and you've got this bind and you're feeling really strong. And then maybe you're hearing this is all where you stay. Or if you're feeling warm, you can start to extend this right leg. Wherever you get to, keep grounding through that big toe. And then come all the way down exactly the way that you came. Hopping this left leg straight back. Uninterlacing those hands. Planting those hands to the front. Bringing this right leg straight back, knees down. Let's come all the way down to the ground just for a second. Allow those hands to flop by the sides. Just assess everything that happened. Just allow that to all just process. Coming on to the other side, is there anything that you need to do? Any changes you need to make? Okay, planting the hands under your shoulders, forehead down. Push up through your all fours, straight back to your downward dog. Other side. Left leg high. Bring that left leg all the way through, sitting straight up for your warrior two. Extended side angle. Internally rotate that right arm. Internally rotate that left arm underneath that left leg. Interlace, keep that length, keep that right shoulder lifted. Hop this right leg forward. Weight in that right leg. Push through that big toe, activate the right glutes. And that is what lifts you high. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you start to extend that left leg. Make sure you don't go to the outside with your foot, exactly what I just did, and that is why I wobbled. Keep breathing here. And then come all the way down, left foot down, keeping that bind, hopping this right foot back, uninterlacing those hands, this time bringing that left foot back, coming into our wide leg, child's pose, sinking the forehead down. Hands wherever you want them. And resting here. That breath filling up the belly, all the way to the back and sides of the ribs, up to the chest. Sinking the hips down to the heels. And just noticing that that peak pose was such a small percentage of our practice. We did so much else before then. That it's really not that pose, it's all of the work that we put into it, that journey that we go on to. Come all the way forward onto your bellies. Coming into our goalpost arm stretch, taking our arms out to the side, elbows and shoulders in line, palms straight down. Tippy fingers of the right hand, right leg up, spinning all the way over so that you're resting on that left ear, right foot is behind you. Keep breathing here. Should feel really, really nice. For those arms that have kept us up, kept that leg up. And all the way over to the other side. All the way back down, roll all the way over to your back from here, grabbing your block. We're going to come into a supported bridge, so just prop your back up so you've got enough space to place that block underneath the lower back. Feet setting up like you would for bridge, knees straight up, and just allow yourself to relax here wherever you want those arms. If you want to take that block higher, absolutely do so. And you might even want to straighten out those legs. If your legs are straight, bring them back in. Come back down to the lowest setting of the block just for stability. And then lift both legs up to the sky. Keep a nice gentle bend. We've done a lot of work with our legs today, just allowing that blood to flow all the way back down to the torso. And legs come all the way down. Plant them down to the ground. Take that block away from you. And then knock the knees in. So take the feet out to the sides. And take one hand onto your belly, one hand onto your heart. Breathing here. Come into a nice gentle supine twist, knocking both knees over to the right. Take the left hand out long, gaze over to the left. Inhale all the way up over to the left, right hand long, gaze over to the right. Inhale all the way back up. Hug the knees into the chest really gently. Keep the shoulders grounded. Feel the tailbone grounding down to the floor all the way up to the crown of the head. Maybe the eyes are already closed. And slowly make your way towards Shavasana. Legs out long, palms facing up. And just allow yourself to settle in here, to grow heavy. Just allowing that body to completely decompress everything that we've been doing, everything that we've been working on. Focusing on that belly rising and falling, the only part of you that is moving. Ever so slowly start to make your way out of Shavasana, wiggling the toes, wiggling the fingers, coming into a really big stretch. And then bending up the knees, rolling over to one side. And slowly, with your eyes closed, push yourself up to seated. Hands resting onto your thighs, palms facing up. And just take a moment here to just let that practice sink in, everything that you worked on, all of those different moves, really focusing hardly. Really focusing intently on that internal rotation of the arm, the hamstring stretches, all of that dedication and hard work to got you to wherever you ended up. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Hands to heart center, bow the chin to the chest, thumbs to the third eye. Really, really good job, everyone. That's not an easy class. So if you stuck with it, amazing. If you bowed out and listened to yourself, just as amazing. Thank you all again. Whenever you're ready, coming to the end of our class, taking the hands away from the eyes and blinking the eyes open.